How's it going, guys? Alex Mendez here for On Gamers, and today I am with a good friend of mine. We have a candid conversation. This is legendary Rainbow Six player, right? I want to preface that, of course, but he is most importantly right now the current coach of Team Evil Geniuses, Matt Morello, aka MrX. Matt, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good, Goldenboy. How you doing?
I'm feeling good.
Seeing you, Goldenboy.
Yeah, well, we see each other a lot. We actually hang out all the time. So this is I think the first time we're ever doing something like this, though. But it's okay. It's like we're talking to each other, except there's a microphone like right in between us. So all right. Recently, the reason why I wanted to have this interview is because recently there's been a lot of controversy about coaches in this space, and you have been at the center of this because you have been the guy that everyone has aspired to be when it comes to coaching. You pretty much changed the game with the way you approached it. What did you do so different that people in the past just were not getting right?
I took what I like to do as a player and, the preparation and just everything to get ready for an event and how to act at an event, and I tried to give it to my guys. I'm good friends with a lot of the old Halo people, like Gandhi and Ogre 2, and I've been around them, and I grew up, hanging out with them at events, seeing how they prepared, and I know how I prepared. And, I didn't really see that a lot in Call of Duty. It was very lackadaisical the way they approached the tournaments and games. So I really wanted to bring that sense of urgency and that, importance to these events. And, my players, they've been good because they've adopted it. It's changed the entire way that they prepare at events and for events. And, they trusted in me that this was the right way to go about things. And, it's worked out great for them.
And do you feel like the way that you approach it, because EG or former Complexity at one point was pretty much on a tear. They didn't win. They didn't lose a single event. For I think the better part of a year. And it seems like everyone else has changed their game like that. Like everyone else has just adapted. Like as far as just like understanding that they have to put that much more work in. Do you feel like you helped pioneer that?
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, I think, the work that we've put in, it's really, set the bar even higher for other teams. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to raise the bar and the standard of play for everybody across the board, not only ourselves. And, now we're seeing better games from everybody. You're seeing teams like TCM come from Europe and play extremely well. You're seeing teams like Curse Black coming in, that didn't have a lot of hype and lore, and they're hanging with all these top teams. The skills getting higher, and for us that's exciting because we're just going to try and push it even further than it is right now.
Yeah. Now, of course, another thing that I got to point out was your influence behind the players when they were playing. That presence was felt, especially at MLG Anaheim. This event a year ago was kind of like where it all really started. And then now looking at it, you're not allowed to get behind them anymore. What do you think happened there?
To be honest, I really don't know what happened there. I really don't see a reason why I am not allowed to, but those are the rules. So we'll agree to do that. I'm allowed now to just go into the booth in between maps and just kind of give my expertise in between maps. But when you look at our record with me behind them at an event, right? Since COD Champs of 2012, the Black Ops 2 one, or was it 2013? 2013. From that point until now, at all the events I've been allowed to be behind them when coaching, we've only lost 2 matches, not even events. We've lost 1 event, 2 matches. So, I think that it was something that it just was an extra push over the top that, really solidified us over other teams, and I think they just maybe wanted to even it up because not every team has a coach, but I really think it's not really an excuse. Everybody's capable of finding somebody who can do work as a coach. It's just, you shouldn't be penalized for one team having a great coach or a good coach and then another team having somebody who's just kind of there to say that he's there. So I guess that's the way of evening it up for now. Maybe it'll change, maybe it'll not. But, we're still figuring out ways that I can get involved and I can still be a big part of what we do.
And you have been. And like you said before, the way, rules are rules is the approach they wanted to take with it. Probably won't know the real reason why. And if there even is, maybe it's just something that they just wanted to do, right? Keep it 4v4. It's understandable. But I guess now moving forward, your role has kind of changed. You're still there. You're still kind of like their fifth man, a little bit on the backside though. You're hanging out outside of the booth. But you also are functioning kind of as a player manager now as well, right?
Yeah, so, I'm doing a lot of managerial stuff, which I do like. I like to do that type of stuff. I think I have a good vision of where esports should be and where it should go for the console. I think I have a really good understanding of the whole scene in general. And then also I can offer, in-game advice. When I see them struggling in-game, I know what needs to be fixed. I know what needs to be done. And, in between games, I can offer different types of strategies and different types of things we can do, to maybe catch another team off guard or, win easy rounds in search and destroy. So, we're just taking a different approach. We're trying to reinvent the way we're doing things right now. I know I have an idea of how it needs to be done, and, we're still perfecting that. But I'm sure, in time, we will perfect this as well.
Now, one thing that I wanted to point out as well was, obviously the big switch, right? Going from complexity to evil geniuses kind of shake the COD world a little bit because, EG, they never even had a Halo team. So for them to dive into competitive Call of Duty was quite surprising. What does it mean for you guys, as well as Karma, Aches, TP, and Crim, to be a part of this organization?
To be a part of EG is just amazing. And all of their staff and, sponsors and just the staff. And the whole staff has just been amazing. Alex Garfield is one of the, if not the greatest owner in esports. He's one of the smartest guys I think I've ever spoken to. So, to be aligned with them and to be able to represent them at events like this, it's great for us. And, we're just really honored the fact that they thought that we should be the team that represented them. So, we're trying our best to do the best by them and, get them event wins and what they want. And, really just get on the same page with the vision for console esports going forward.
Yeah, no, that's some pretty exciting stuff too. Of course, I was particularly excited because I see the potential for even more organizations to get involved in all that. So I guess looking at this event, looking at the final, some of our final questions here, you guys have been playing phenomenal. 3-0 to FaZe Black. You 3-1 FaZe Red. So you've pretty much just been the FaZe, knocking out FaZe teams, bringing hearts around the world. But most importantly, though, I want to ask you about Crimsix. 20-5 in a search and destroy game, probably the highest I've seen at an MLG event in a while. But next up, you have a formidable threat, the arch rivals, Optic Gaming. How are you feeling about this?
This is the match we've wanted since X Games. I think after X Games, it just kind of everyone was all in the Optic train. I think people don't realize. That's the first time they beat us in 2 years. Granted, they beat us. They deserve that win. There's no doubt about it. They played much better than us at that event. But I think you're going to see a much different EG team at this event than that one. There's been a lot said. We've been pretty quiet over the last month, but we've seen everything that's been said. We've seen everything that's been done. And we're ready to act on that.
That's good. So how important is this event for you guys, especially this next matchup with Optic? How important is this for you? Would you say it's more important than X Games right now, just the scale? You just want to prove once and for all. It's like, this is it, and also another thing too, the money, right? People always mention that EG always plays well when there's when there's prize money on the line. Do you think that's true?
It's true with the fact that, you look at the events that we haven't played to our peak at. Those are the events that there is no money, but that's no excuse. As a competitor, you come to every event with the intent to win. There's nobody, at least from my perspective, there's nobody that goes home and gets second or third and is really happy with their performance. If you are, that's not the right approach to take. The way that we take the approaches is that anything other than first is unacceptable. And, X Games was an unacceptable performance. Third is somewhere with the talent that we have and the work that we put in that's completely unacceptable. So I think this event, the focus is to win. The focus is always to win with us. There's no other things that go on the weekend that, we're not focused on winning, whether it be against Optic, whether it be against Envy, a Cursed team, or FaZe. The goal is always to win. So I think, coming into this event, not like it wasn't much like extra pressure. I wouldn't say it's that. But, just more importance on the fact that, this is an event we want to win because we won it last year. We won the Season 2 playoffs. We won the Season 1 playoffs. It's just an event that we really want to take home. We really want to win an event for EG.
Nice. Well, I wish you all the best. As always, buddy, thank you so much for your time. Love this guy. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for your time, Matt. And best of luck to EG throughout the rest of the weekend. See you guys later. I'm Alex Mendes, Ron Gamers. Till next time.